Hello, everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 441. I'm Andrew. Hope you're all having a lovely weekend. In 1998, my sister and I went to the theater to see The Bride of Chucky. Actually, if I remember correctly, the film's title is just Bride of Chucky, not The Bride, just Bride of Chucky. Um, we went to see it because I liked it. I don't recall what my sister's a mild fan of the franchise. I was and continue to be a big fan of the franchise. This was the fourth movie. I had seen and loved the first three and was excited to see after something like 6 or 7 years since the last one, excited to see more Chucky action in the Cineplex. So we went, we sat, we watched, we went home. Typically, how movie outings go. And I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the Tiffany character, Jennifer Tilly's character, was an excellent addition to the world of Child's Play. I thought the humor was appropriately amusing, the gore was appropriately goopy and over the top. I liked Chucky's redesign with the stitches across his face. I thought the human characters were tolerable, but that's not what anyone goes to see. So, some wooden acting, whatever. Point is, I enjoyed the movie front to back, except for the last 30 seconds of the film. The last 30 seconds, to me, were so gosh darn stupid that it essentially just ruined the movie for me. Like, the previous 90 minutes, I was having a grand old time. And then the literal last 30 seconds of the movie happened, and that just flushed all the goodwill down the toilet. I was left with a bad taste in my mouth, such as the importance of a solid ending. You can do great throughout the entire movie, book, song, video game, poem, whatever, but if you end on a sour note, that's what people walk out of the theater with. That's what people remember. The ending's very important, perhaps the most important part. You can start weak, you can have a weak middle, you can suck all the way up to the ending, but have a really strong ending, and people walk out of the theater going, ah, that was good. But man, the ending of Bride of Chucky just put me off. I went home displeased, a bit upset. Same with you and Hereditary. I can't remember exactly how it ends, but I remember enjoying the film as a whole. But I do try to, recognize that that's a purely emotional response, and that I did genuinely enjoy everything else in the movie. I say this because last night I didn't get to sleep at all. No, no, sorry. Last night I finished Suikoden II. And as many of you may be aware, I've played the first two Suikoden games and am going to make a video doing kind of a retro review of it as a Patreon reward video for one of my patrons. I finally finished, so I played Suikoden, made a video about that. I just finished Suikoden 2, gonna make a video about that. Throughout the game, I was like, oh man, this is great. This is an incredible. I liked the original, more admired it more than I actually enjoyed playing it, but I did like the original, and this was a step up in almost every way, like a significant step up. And I was playing through the game thinking, man, this is going to be a glowing video because I've got so much, because it's improved so much in so many ways. And then I hit the ending. And the ending, didn't just drop the ball, it stomped it into jelly. And I had to stay up late and start another video game. Or we'll actually continue. For another Patreon video, I streamed the first 5 hours or so of Dragon Quest VII, and I continued on with that game last night because sometimes I'll watch a movie at night and it's so bad I'm like I can't go to bed. I can't leave the day like this. I must watch something else. There's kind of that thing. I was so upset, so disappointed, so put off by the ending of Suikoden that I had to start another game. I had to play another game for a while. And I've been playing that game throughout a big chunk of my day. And it's been 15 hours or so, and I'm still not over it. I was going to start writing the script for my forthcoming video this weekend. I don't think I can. I think I'm going to have to put some distance between myself and the game before I can write the script, or it's just going to be an hour-long bitch fest, which is what I'm doing now. I don't recall being so upset with the ending of a piece of media since Bride of Chucky in the theater in 1998, nearly 30 years ago. So honestly, not a bad streak, I suppose. Raina says, actually, a better example from my movie experience is Ethan Cohen's Honey Don't from last year. Oh, God. Yeah. 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 Oh, gosh. Man, I have been having difficulty accepting the fact that I just don't seem to vibe with either Coen brothers' filmic sensibilities. I have seen several Coen brothers and Coen films at this point, and I have not liked any of them. There have been a couple that I thought started pretty strong, and then by the ending I was like, nope. No Country for Old Men was one. I remember thinking halfway through, oh my gosh, I'm actually mostly enjoying this. This is pretty good. Am I gonna like a Coen Brothers movie? No. Honey Don't was not quite to the same extent, but I felt it started, if not strong, at least decently. But yeah, Raina, I agree. By the end, I was like, oh no, 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 this just sucks. I should probably just not watch Coen Brothers movies anymore. I don't like them. And it's frustrating because there's a lot of filmic talent on display. Like there's a lot of film craft that is genuinely exciting and laudable. But man, yeah, I agree. Honey Don't. Also, there should be a comma in that title. Honey, comma, don't, because that's Honey's the character's name. Punctuation. Do you use it? Yes, you do, because that title ends with an exclamation point. I know you know what punctuation is. Well, at least there's no M dash in it. Chaos says, if you want to avoid games that drop the ball, never play Star Ocean till the end of time. Okay. So yeah, Suikoden 2. Man, if you saw my video for Suikoden 1, my thesis was essentially I liked it, but I admire this 30-year-old RPG more than I actually enjoyed playing it. That said, it's got a great foundation that could be built upon to build great things. Suikoden 2 takes advantage of a very strong foundation and recognizes all of the stuff that didn't quite work in the original and works to improve it. And in most cases, sadly not all, I'll get into that in the forthcoming video, in most cases, it does a brilliant job. As an example, one of my huge issues with the first game was a UI that is so unaccommodating. I can imagine many people, even 30 years ago, bounced right off the game. Suikoden II, and I have no idea how much of this is quality of life improvements that were made in the HD collection, but since I had all these problems with the first game in the HD collection, I would imagine it's not that much, if any, nearly fixes it. Like, the UI for Suikoden 2 is, like, perfectly serviceable. Could it be better? Yes. Is there anything really wrong with it? Not really, no. It's like your head has been trapped in a porta potty for years. And finally, you dislodge your face from the porta potty and breathe in the fresh mountain spring air and flowers and all that stuff, and you don't have allergies. It's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's not perfect, but it's amazing compared to the porta potty. So it genuinely pains me that the game, in my opinion anyway, face plants so hard. And really just with character and story, the gameplay's fine. I felt like the last bosses were a little on the easy side. Could have cranked that difficulty a bit. Particularly because Luca Blight. Holy crap, man. Like, everything past Luca Blight is downhill. If you can get past Luca Blight, you got the game in the bag. But it's really the story, and that's such a shame, because story was one of my criticisms from the first game. The game played like it was just a story outline moving from plot beat to plot beat and missing the all-important characterization and connective tissue. Suikoden 2 goes a super long way to remedy that. And you have much more interesting characters, much more interesting story. It's paced better. There's drama, there's tension, it's not even a middle-aged dude like myself who's experienced a lot of narratives in my decades. I wasn't entirely sure where a lot of it was going. And then the game got there. And it was like the dumbest place it could have gone. In multiple ways. Like, just... I think Suikoden 2 is a game I'm going to think about for a long time. Not in a particularly positive way. I was literally pacing back and forth in my apartment because I was so upset by the end of this game. I'm like, how did this happen? I mean, it could just be me. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what form the forthcoming video will take, but playing the game, I had my criticisms, absolutely. As an example, one of my issues with the first game was the war battles. I thought they were great in the sense that they genuinely made you feel like the commander of an army, not just one of, a small party of super special chosen one protagonists who are saving the world all by yourself. You feel like the commander of an army of thousands of people. However, the war battle isn't much more, in Suikoden 1, isn't much more complicated than a game of rock, paper, scissors. It is more, there's more to it than that. It would be reductive to say it's just rock, paper, scissors. The duels are just rock, paper, scissors, but the war battles are a bit more than that, just not much more. I was like, man, this is such a cool concept. I hope they build and expand on that. And boy, howdy did they. But they went so far that they kind of just looped back around to that was too much. It's bad now. You made it, you actually improved it so much, you made it worse. You improved it so much, it's actually bad now, and I don't like it. But I'll get into that in the video. But oh god, that ending. What a terrible ending. Just character-wise, theme-wise, tone, just, like everything, nothing works about that ending. It's weird how a story can just stick in your craw like that. I mean, I'm talking about the narrative of a nearly 30-year-old RPG. Who cares? My brain does. Because my brain won't let it go. I want to do what Elsa says and let it go, but I can't. I can't. Maybe after 2 days. You know, it's been a day. Maybe I need 2 days to just let it go. Or maybe it'll be a thorn in my arse for the rest of my days. Who knows? Maybe I will find writing the forthcoming script very therapeutic. Rhina says, yep, brains do that. All right. So, just need to get that off my chest. Now, we're going to talk about the most important thing anyone could ever talk about in the world today, and that is... I don't know if you can hear that. I'm drumming on the desk for kind of a drum roll effect. Did I get the good ending? Asked Jared. No. I got the true ending, I'll say, but it's certainly not good. Harumph. I did get all, I got all 108, Stars of Destiny, whatever they're called. I got all the characters recruited, and I did actually watch both endings. And I declined the position of president of the Republic of whatever they ended up calling the thing. And then reconnected with my friends, and then pulled a Tyr and Gremio and went off on our own adventures. So yeah, I got the true ending, I'll call it, but I don't think it's good. I would not call that the good ending. I'd say the ending where she dies and you are in charge of the Republic and kind of miserable, and he is alone and miserable. I kind of like that ending better. But yeah, I got the true ending, and wow. Yeah. Hmm. The suctitude, it haunts me. I actually, I should probably go. Actually, I'm gonna probably write the video first, and then I might take a browse around the internet and see what the general consensus is on Suikoden II's ending. Because I like the game, but holy biscuits, is the ending bad. I'm not sure if that's just yeah, everyone's pretty much agreed that it's a pretty weak ending for that game, or if everyone really likes it. I don't know. Chicago, hello. All right, so let's talk about YouTube movie trailer thumbnails and why they're bad. This is something I've noticed of late. About a year or so ago, YouTube decreased the amount of videos that you can see on your YouTube page, either your recommends or your subscriptions or whatever. You used to be able to see 4 rows of 6, depending on your resolution. Then they increased the size of the videos, the thumbnails. So now you only see, I think, like 3 rows of 3. Well, actually, uh, 2 1/3 rows of 3. You can really only see 6 videos at a time now instead of 24, which is better, I guess. But this allows the video thumbnails to actually be larger, and so you can, artists can put more details because you can see them. On the other hand, if people are browsing YouTube on their phone, it probably doesn't make a damn bit of difference, so I don't know. But one thing I've been noticing of late is not only are there a glut of movies with really boring ass titles, just simple one-word titles, like Pressure, Hope. Like, not even like, evocative words. It, but that in combination with just the most boring ass thumbnails, which are almost all exclusively a 1 or 2 shot of someone's face looking mildly concerned as they gaze slightly off camera. So we're going to take a look at a few here, and I'm going to rant about them for the next 40 minutes. So here's one. Here's a movie called Pressure, and here's how they're selling it. I have no idea what this movie is about. I've never heard of it. I just saw this in my feed, and I didn't click on it to watch, because of course I didn't. Why would I? The movie's called Pressure. That doesn't do anything by itself. And it's just a picture of a guy looking mildly concerned, slightly off camera. I have no idea who that is supposed to appeal to. Is there a movie called The? Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's look at another one. Here's a movie called Tony. I would assume it's like maybe a biopic of someone named Tony, but I have no idea who that's supposed to be. It's just a picture of a guy in a bathrobe, maybe? Is it the life story of Tony Danza? I don't know. No idea. This gives me absolutely zero information. Oh, The Pressure? Is that Brendan Fraser? Kind of hard to tell. Could be. I don't know. It's a guy in a hat. I mean, it looks military. I got a logo. We got 4 stars on the shoulder, so military dude. I don't know, and he's standing out in a field somewhere. He's looking mildly concerned. I mean, maybe he's mildly concerned about an approaching army, or maybe he's looking at a cow who has the shits. I don't know. I didn't click on it to watch it. I don't know who Tony is. I know what Dune 3 is, but again, this is a sci-fi movie with fantastic creatures like the sandworm and all kinds of neat technology like those dragonfly helicopter flying machine things. And how do they try and sell it? It's a picture of a guy standing somewhere non-specific, looking mildly concerned, off camera a skosh. Now, to be fair, this is Dune Part 3, so it's an IP, it's part of a franchise, and 2, it's the second sequel, so if you're into Dune 3, you're into Dune 3. You probably don't need to sell a lot of people on it, but I mean, come on. This is a movie known for its visuals. You can do better than this. Omnithopters. Thank you, Rana. It's about D-Day chaos? Oh, okay, cool. Would never know by the title or the or the thumbnail. And one feature I kind of wish that YouTube had would be maybe to if you like hovered over the title, you could view like the first couple sentences of the description. That might help. Maybe he's in the middle of a battlefield and he's concerned because he feels the pressure in his bladder. Possibly. He may be looking at a porta potty that he really needs to use, and there's a very long line. That may be what he's thinking. He may be thinking, oh man, that's a long line on that porta potty. Oh, I don't know if I can hold it. Alright, let's see what's next. Here's a movie with a great title, a great provocative title. The Death of Robin Hood. Holy biscuits. I know Robin Hood. We've got IP connections here. Everyone knows who Robin, well, not everyone. Lots of people know who Robin Hood is, and this is the death of Robin Hood. He dies. Oh my gosh. I'm interested. And it's a good thing it's a good title because holy shit, that's a boring thumbnail. It's just a guy standing somewhere indistinct, looking mildly concerned at something just off camera. But don't you worry, dear viewers, because that was just the first trailer. They actually uploaded a second trailer some weeks later with a brand new thumbnail. So, yeah, that's better. Yep. Yeah, that's better. So, let's see, we've got a guy looking mildly concerned while standing somewhere unspecific, looking somewhere off camera. Okay. I mean, crispy critters, like off the top of my head, you just have Robin Hood in the green suit with the hat and the feather, laying in an open coffin, holding his bow and quiver. The Death of Robin Hood. I mean, that's obvious, and so obvious it's stupid, but it's something at least. Chicago, he's not wearing anything to define him as Robin Hood. Maybe he's looking at Robin's corpse. Yeah, that might not be Robin Hood. That might be some guy going, oh shit, Robin Hood just died. What's next? Well, I mean, at least this is a dog. Go on. Well, that doesn't tell me anything, and there's just a picture of a... I mean, at least it's a picture of a dog. Dogs are cute, but I have no idea... Well, cute dogs are cute. I've seen some ugly dogs. But once again, we've got a lead... a 1 or 2 T shot of a lead character looking mildly concerned, saying something just off camera, while standing somewhere indistinct. I think he's in a car, maybe? What's this movie about? Well, there's a dog in it. Maybe that's enough for you. What's this movie about? Well, there's a guy in it. I would assume it's about the death of Robin Hood. But I mean, this is better because dog. So, I mean, that's something. At least we know it's about a dog. Yeah. Hungry. Hippo. That's at least kind of clever. I don't. Does anyone under 30 even remember, even know what Hungry Hungry Hippos is? Like, I'm old. I know what Hungry Hungry Hippos is. That game came out roundabouts when I was born. So, but well, I mean, I guess it's. I mean, Zootopia 2 made a Hungry Hungry Hippos joke, so. They think, I mean, they're making a movie, so they're too cowardly to call it Hungry Hungry Hippos, or they couldn't get the rights to the name. That's probably closer to the truth. But I mean, at least, but again, it's just a hippo looking mildly concerned off of something off camera while standing somewhere indistinct. And the film's title in isolation, Hungry, not a great title. Paired with a hippo actually works. So, not the worst one, but still, I mean, come on. Do an action shot of a hippo, like, emerging out of Jaws by itself. Pretty boring damn title, right? I mean, It would be worse if it were called Teeth, you know, or Incisors, but Jaws is a better title. But remember the poster? You know, naked lady swimming across the top, big ass shark with a mouth full of razor sharp teeth, you know, shooting up at her. That's a great poster. It's really simple. Imagine if it was just a shot of Roy Scheider looking mildly concerned off camera while standing somewhere indistinct. That wouldn't be a great poster. You wouldn't even know what the hell the movie's about. You see the original Jaws poster and you're like, oh, the shark attack movie. Okay, I got it. Jaws, I get it. Shark Jaws. Cool. But man, I mean, you could have had a hippo lunging out of the water at some dude or gal or dude and gal desperately trying to scramble up a steep, slippery, muddy embankment, trying not to slip down the slide and fall into the mashing jaws of the hungry, hungry hippo. No, it's just a picture of it. It's not even an action shot. Doesn't even seem particularly hungry or angry. It's just standing there. It's like they're trying to make the most boring possible thumbnail. Yeah. Jared says 28 and it's a game about stealing marbles. Okay, so Hungry Hungry Hippos. It's still got cultural penetration. Nice. Chicago says the narrator saw a guy fall in the water and the hippos all rushed forward to eat him, tearing him limb from limb. Chaos says, I'm surprised that the Masters of the Universe movie doesn't look awful. I could do without Jared Leto, but yeah. Hey, here's another animal. Coyote versus Acme. Boy, I actually did watch the trailer for this. Not with that thumbnail, though. It's the coyote from Coyote and Roadrunner, and it's a close-up of his face, standing somewhere indistinct, looking mildly concerned, somewhere slightly off camera. Like, I mean, there's the promotional shot where the animated coyote is sitting in a courtroom next to his live-action lawyer. If you're just gonna take a single frame from the movie, there's one. It's like, oh, Coyote versus Acme. It's a legal where the Coyote is suing the Acme Corporation. There you go. But no, it's just, well, I mean, at least I recognize Wile E. Coyote. Here's a great title. Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. But I didn't bother clicking on it because this is a boring-ass thumbnail. So we have a 2T shot of a woman looking mildly concerned at something, well, I think in front of the camera, while standing somewhere indistinct. I guess she's like, I mean, it's Camp Miasma, so I would assume she's like at a summer camp kind of a place, like maybe in one of the main cabin halls where the kids draw pictures on the wall. Looks kind of a childish painting on the wall behind. What the hell's it about? I have no idea. Sex and Death, I guess, at a camp. Great title. Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. Shit-ass thumbnail. But again, they actually did a second trailer with a new thumbnail. So let's check that out. Oh, that's much better. We've got a 1T shot of a woman looking mildly concerned, slightly off camera while standing somewhere indistinct. Well, she's clearly looking at a person at least. So, yeah. That definitely makes me want to click on it. I mean, the goal here is to convince people to click on stuff. Maybe I'm just old and weird. Maybe the modern YouTube viewer really just likes headshots. Or maybe these are optimized for phones and it's so small, all they've got room for is a headshot. If they tried to do anything more complicated, you wouldn't be able to tell what the hell it is. I also imagine that very few, if any, people are hiring anyone to actually make thumbnails. They're probably just sending a person the video file for the trailer and a transparency of the logo and saying just pick a frame from the movie and throw the logo on it and upload it. I don't care. Like, they're probably not even hiring someone specifically to do that. They're probably just, hey, Janine, here, make the YouTube upload. She's like, that's not my job. What? what do you want me to do for the thumbnail? I don't have time to Photoshop something together, and you didn't give me any assets. Oh, just scrub the trailer and just pick a frame, crop in on a face, and call it a day. Who cares? Well, I mean, if you want anyone to watch your damn video. On the other hand, I did keep the, if you can, I don't know, the video might be too small, but a lot of these have hundreds of thousands. Many of them have multiple millions of views, so I may be alone on this. Clearly, this kind of thumbnail works a lot of the time, or maybe people are just bored and click on anything. I don't know. They might all be AI generated. Well, not AI generated. These all do seem to be stills from the trailer. It may be some automated algorithm that's picking the frame rather than having a person do it. Like, I imagine, like, I've complained about Netflix and other streaming services. They have movie posters, but they just like use a cropped random frame from the film as the advertising as the thumbnail for the. I'm like, why would you do that? You have the show art. Use the show art. And again, maybe it's just optimizing for mobile. It's like it's so small you only have room for a headshot. I don't know. But I'm broadly not. Now, I actually did watch the trailer for Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, but only because I read about the film on a horror site sometime later, and I went, "Oh, that sounds interesting. I'll watch the trailer for that. It looks really cool." But I didn't click on the trailer when it came across my feed because there's literally nothing there that would make me click on it. Here's actually the one that made me start saving trailers. This is the one that got me. Hope. Boring ass name for a movie, and what the hell are we even looking at? I actually had to stare at this for a while before I realized, oh, I think that's a guy on a horse. Okay, so it's a guy on a horse in a forest, I guess. And then I looked at it some more and I realized, oh, I think he's holding a long gun. Okay. Oh, and I looked at him, I'm like, that brown curved thing in the front, I think that's a dude. So I think a guy on a horse with a long gun just bowled over some dude. Hope. Now what's funny is this is the second thumbnail. I don't even remember what the first one was. I didn't watch that one either. It was probably just a close-up of someone's face looking mildly concerned, slightly off camera, while standing somewhere indistinct. Is it a slasher movie? Is it about a bad guy who runs around in a forest on a horse riding over people? Does it take place in the past, present day, apocalyptic future? Is it a maudlin drama? Is it an alien invasion movie? Who the hell knows? What a shit thumbnail. You've got a boring ass title and a thumbnail which I had to stare at it for a while to even figure out what the hell I was looking at. It's a horse. Hope, the movie where an armed guy on a horse runs over somebody in a forest. Great job, says Raina, making the thing you want us to focus on be blended with the background. I mean, yeah. I thought it was Luke on a speeder in Endor, says Chicago. Yeah, maybe. Now this one, they're not even trying. Obsession. And I've heard a lot of it. People seem to really like this movie. Whatever the hell it's about, I would assume obsession. It's not a terrible title. Obsession's a nice provocative word. Ooh, obsession. But, I mean, come on. You couldn't even grab a frame of someone looking mildly concerned while staring slightly off camera in an indistinct location. It's just a black screen with the logo. This is not part of a franchise. You could get away with shit like this for Resident Evil, the movie, or Tomb Raider, or Call of Duty, or The Last of Us, or whatever, or Dune 3, right? You can get it, but if it's a brand new IP, you can't get away with it. No one knows what that is. Is it like Single White Female or Hand That Rocks the Cradle kind of a movie, or is it another alien invasion movie? Is it? I don't know. Oh, well, that helps. Here's the second trailer. And we've got a 2T shot of a guy looking mildly concerned while staring off camera, standing somewhere indistinct. I think maybe he's in the bathroom. I mean, at least we've got a guy who looks like he's been put through the ringer. That's at least something. He appears to be bloody. Is it his blood? Is it someone else's? His eyes are very black. Is he possessed? Tired? Is it just low lighting? I don't know. So there's at least a little something here. What's this bloody guy obsessed about in his bathroom, though? Is there hair clogging his sink? Is someone not putting the seat down? Is someone not is someone using his towel to wipe their butt? I, is someone putting the toilet paper roll on the wrong way around? Who knows? It might take you a moment to figure out what the name of this movie is. Because at first glance, it's called Official Trailer. You kind of have to squint and go, oh, sugar, the little cursive sugar in the upper left corner of the official trailer. Or you look under it. Yeah. Well, we've got a guy in a car driving somewhere looking mildly concerned while staring off camera. Cool. Sugar. Hmm. Obsession sounds like a perfume name? Maybe. Well, that's a shit thumbnail. What else we got? In the Hand of Dante. Not a terrible title. It's at least something to think about. And then we've got a 3T shot of a guy standing somewhere indistinct, looking mildly concerned, slightly off camera. I think that's Oscar Isaac. He's holding a book. Was he like, did he go to the beach to read a book and then someone decided to sit down near him while blasting his boombox and he couldn't concentrate, so he gave him a dirty look before walking away? I don't know. Sugar 2, diabetes. Here's a good one. Stewart fails to save the universe. Well, Stewart seems pretty disappointed, if that's Stewart, seems pretty disappointed with himself. That's a pretty good title, right? Stewart fails to save the universe. Who the hell's Stewart? Why was it his job? Who knows? That's a pretty good title, though. I might want... It's like, Stewart fails to save the... Okay, cool. What a shit poster, though. Or, I know it's not a poster, but a thumbnail. It's just a 1T shot of a guy looking mildly concerned, slightly off camera, while standing somewhere non-specific. I mean... It's a pretty good title, at least. Hokum. All right. So we've got a guy standing at the end of a hallway looking mildly concerned at something slightly off camera. At least it's a full body shot. No idea what the hell this is about. Could be a horror movie, you know, could be like a haunted item type of horror movie, or a ghost house horror movie, or it could be just a family drama kind of a thing. I have no idea. Could be a foreign film. I don't know. Not like that's actually a genre, but just a guy at the end of a hall. Stewie from Family Guy all grown up. There you go. Chaos says this is a spin-off of The Big Bang Theory. I would assume this one is a spin-off of The Big Bang Theory. Well, okay. Oh, so this is a HBO Max. Oh, yeah. So that's probably a television show, but yeah, I'm seeing the same thing with television shows as I am for movies, so I've probably got some television shows mixed in here. Silent Friend. Yep, there's a guy looking mildly concerned off camera while standing somewhere in specific. Is he the silent friend? Is his friend silent? What even genre is this? Who knows? Lucky Strike. Look, a guy, a headshot of a guy looking mildly concerned while staring slightly off camera, standing somewhere in specific. I mean, you can tell it's an army soldier dude, and I know that's Scott Eastwood at least, or at least I would assume that's him. You know, he's wearing the hat, and you can see part of the outfit. It's like, okay, soldier movie at least. It got a little something there, but I mean, you really couldn't get like an action shot. The trailer doesn't have like people shooting at anything or explosions, or you can't even get people with like an interesting facial expression, just kind of bland concern at something we're not privy to. Okay. Victorian Psycho. 1, I like the title. 2, I like the title treatment. 3, 2 nearly 3T shot of a woman looking slightly concerned while staring a bit off camera and standing somewhere unspecific. I mean, it's probably a Victorian household, but I mean, you didn't have a shot from the movie of her like holding a bloody knife or something. I would assume she's the titular psycho. Maybe she's hunted by a psycho. I don't know. You're not giving me much to work with. It just another person, just kind of with a bland look of concern, staring off camera while standing somewhere somewhat unspecific. Chicago says about a guy who was discharged from the military and went bowling. He bowled a 300 game lucky strike. Okay. Now, I actually did watch the trailer for Victorian Psycho, again, because I read about it somewhere else, and it sounded really interesting. So I watched the trailer, and I went, ooh, that looks like it might be good. And even if you have no budget to, like, go full Drew Struzan, and you have no assets to Photoshop something together, and you're definitely not going to use AI because you're a decent human being, there were some shots from the trailer that you could have used that were better than this. I mean, you can't use, like, really gory ones, but, I mean, you can... Janine, kiddo, I know this isn't your job. I know someone dumped this shit on you and it gave you 20 minutes to do it. I understand, but Janine, you're better than this. You can do better than this. You shouldn't have to, because again, I know this isn't your job. But man, just take an additional 3 seconds to skim through the timeline and grab a better shot, please. Or maybe they're just uploading the maybe the Janines of the world are just uploading the video to YouTube and then just looking at the 3 thumbnails that YouTube auto generates, downloading it, slapping the transparency, the logo on it, and re-uploading it as the thumbnail and calling it a day. It's like, that's the best of the 3 thumbnails that YouTube recommended, so I downloaded it, threw on the logo, uploaded it, we're done. Because I don't get paid for this. This was just something my boss dumped on me, it's not even my job. And I get that, but man. Night Shift! Hey, look! Some woman looking mildly concerned, I think she's staring at the camera, while standing somewhere, well, not terribly indistinct. She does seem to be in like a security office, standing in front of a bunch of security feeds. So that's something. I don't know what her shoulder patch says. It's a little too small for me to read from here, but this is not the worst one. It's still really boring, but it's like not the worst. So, congrats on not being the worst. It actually looks like it's probably not a frame from the movie. This looks like it might be a production photo. Like, they took a photo of the actor, you know, turning around and looking mildly concerned, and then superimposed it over a background of, you know, security footage. So, not good, but certainly not among the worst. Hey, here's the thumbnail for the new Resident Evil trailer. And, you know, one of the better ones we've seen so far. I mean, we've got an action shot, we've got a guy clearly panicking, showing an emotion beyond mild concern. I mean, he seems to be both running away from something and running towards something, whether it's a specific goal or just safety. Um, he's on a snow-covered city street. Don't know what the hell he's running from, but Resident Evil is a 30-year-old franchise, so it's probably zombies or mutant monsters of some sort. This is just a frame from the trailer, which I've seen, because it's Resident Evil. This is not the best one they could have used. I think there are a lot more provocative shots that they could have used from that trailer. But at least this is... While it doesn't really tell me anything about the movie, other than guys panicking, it's Resident Evil, so the title does most of the heavy lifting. So at least you have at least something with a bit of energy to it, which is more than you can say for most of the and I'm not cherry picking here. I do have one in here, I think, at the very end that I think is actually a very good thumbnail. And it's just a close-up of someone's head. It can be done. We'll get there. Eventually, we've got about 15 more. Chicago says there's a thumbnail of an animated mountain and two moles, one jumping off and the other one is at the base. The name Molehill Mountain doesn't tell me anything. Maybe it's about moles. Yeah, maybe. That was, you know, Molehill Mountain. There are moles, there's a mountain. There you go. This podcast used to have two hosts. So, it was also fan art. It was drawn for me unprompted by an artist who enjoyed the show and said, hey, I drew this for you. If you like it, use it. If not, it's cool. And I thought it was lovely, so that's why I use it. The Movie Mandates art, however, is something I specifically commissioned for that show. So whatever your criticisms of that are, that one was my idea. I didn't draw it, Lindy did, but the concept of that piece of art, that one was mine. So Resident Evil is about Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. It goes back and shows when he did his residency. Okay. The Hunger Games, whatever the subtitle is. Now we've got two people. See, it's not always just one person. Sometimes we have two people blandly looking mildly concerned off camera while standing somewhere unspecific. They're in the forest. I imagine they're playing the Hunger Games. The guy on the left, I don't know what he's holding. The gal on the right, I have no idea what she's holding. Is it a blowgun? Is it a telescope? I don't know. But, you know, Hunger Games is an IP, so it does a bunch of the heavy lifting, but still pretty boring thumbnail. Dead. Interesting title treatment. It's got the E in brackets, or maybe parentheses. I can't see it. It's a little small. But, yep, we've got two people who look blandly, mildly concerned, slightly off camera, while standing somewhere unspecific. Are they in an office, a police station, a school principal's office? I mean, the movie's called Dead. It's got brackets around a letter or parentheses. What does that mean? Are either of them dead? Are they zombies? I don't know. They don't look I mean, I'm paler than they are. So, I mean, they didn't even put the damn logo on the card. Like, they didn't even crop in. It's wider than the actual thumbnail. Ha-chan, shake your booty. This one's actually properly punctuated. That's how you do it, honey don't. I like the title. That's a fun title. Ha-chan, shake your booty. we've got, I would assume, Ha-chan looking blandly, mildly concerned off camera while standing somewhere unspecific. I would assume she's in a on a stage, maybe in a bar, a dance floor of some sort. If she's clearly dancing with some guy, so at least we've got a an action shot. You know, it says "shake your booty." She's clearly dancing, so maybe it's a dance movie, like Strictly Ballroom or Step Right Up or uh, I can't think of any dance movies. Footloose, you know. I don't know. What was the Channing Tatum one where it was like a mix of ballet and I he was a janitor and he walked into a ballet class. I don't know. I never saw it. Uh, then there's that other one. Who is it? Is it Claire Danes or someone who's like a ballet performer and then she moves into hip hop or something? I don't know. I don't care. That's not. It's not the worst I've ever seen. At least it's got an action shot. It's somewhat related to the title. I can at least make some assumptions. Now we've got Flies, and it's just some lady creepily staring at some kid sleeping. I don't know what that has to do with flies. I mean, it's at least a creepy image. You know, some adult looming over a child who is either asleep or pretending to be asleep. Don't know what it has to do with flies at all, but or maybe one of these characters can defy gravity. I don't know. Not the worst I've seen, but also doesn't tell me much. Fatherland! Here's some people standing around a car. I mean, at least it's not a close-up of people's faces looking mildly concerned off camera while standing somewhere indistinct. Now it's just three people talking to each other while standing next to a car. I would assume it takes place in the recent past. That looks like an older model car to me. I don't really know cars, but Save the Last Dance. And Julia Stiles, that's right, not Claire Danes, Julia Stiles. Thank you, Chaos. Save the Last Dance. That's right. The flies are on the kid, showing that, yeah, who knows. Not Fatherland, not the worst word you could use for a title, but you gotta combo that with some interesting imagery if you want to sell it. That I am not sold. I think this is called The Silent Sea. And we've got three people, one in the foreground, two in the background, standing on a ship, in a sub. Looks more astronaut-y. Is the Silent Sea a euphemism for space? Maybe. That could be a like if the Silent Sea is meant to refer to outer space, probably a better image would have been like a spaceship moving through space. You know, the Silent Sea. It's like, oh, space adventure. Maybe with a person falling out of an airlock, or navigating an asteroid field, or a big toothy space fish coming to munch on the ship. Something! This is just people standing there with the lead guy looking mildly concerned, slightly off camera. Next, Colony. Now this one is one of the better ones, I think. We've got a bunch of people who I can't tell that they're standing really weird. They seem to be kind of bloodied. Maybe they're monsters or zombies or infected, or they might be kind of morphing into each other, you know, like absorbing each other into a whole. They seem to be standing in like I don't know, those look like cardboard boxes, so a warehouse, and it seems to be covered in webs, but also the title treatment is covered in, colony is covered in webs, so maybe it's a spider colony or some type of creepy crawly colony thing. That's kind of what your mind goes to, particularly with the web imagery. So I can't really tell what's going on, but at least the title treatment relates to the imagery, and there's a bit of energy to the imagery. Like, you can almost, your mind can fill in the Foley for you. Not great. I would prefer an actual title. I would prefer an actual considered and produced thumbnail, like a movie poster. But this isn't the. This is one of the better ones, I think. I am something. Franqueta something. This is a stop motion film from Mexico, which is pretty cool. I actually did see the trailer for it because I'm an animation dork, and looks like it could be cool. I have no idea what's in English. You'd think it would be in Spanish because it's from Mexico so far as I know, and it's about people in Mexico doing like specifically and culturally Mexican things. So, but I mean, it's being sold in America, so maybe there'll be a Spanish version. I don't know. Kind of reminds me when I watched Coco. I was like, why is this in English? And then I realized there was a Spanish version, so I watched that. Made more sense. It's about people who live in Mexico and speak Spanish doing Dia de los Muertos stuff. This should be in Spanish. So, hopefully there's a Spanish version of that, because it looks like it might be neat. A little low budget. It's not like on the level of Aardman or Leica or anything, but looks like it could be cool. Not a great poster. It's just, I mean, it does tell you that it's a puppet show, and at least it gets that. So you can get, well, one of them's a monster, one of them's a girl, and maybe they smooch. So it's not great, but it's not horrific or terrible. It's enough to tell you, hey, puppets, monsters. Oh, okay. That could be enough for many. The Burrows. Well, here's three people staring at something. What are they sticking their heads in? An oven? I don't know. What are they looking at? I don't know. They do seem mildly concerned, though. While looking slightly off camera in an indistinct location. What a bad thumbnail. It doesn't... I don't know what my takeaway is. The Burrows. Here's three people staring at something while sticking their head in a small space. The Invite. Well, here's four people. So even more people. And they're, I mean, at least the woman on the right there looks more than mildly concerned. Lady on the left, is that Rose Byrne? I can't tell. Looks somewhat bemused. I think that's Seth Rogen in the background. He's a little out of focus because, again, this is not I'm pretty sure this is just a frame grab from the film somewhere. I guess they're in a home. I guess they invited someone that they wish they wouldn't. Or maybe they were invited and are regretting attending. I don't know. This isn't the worst one. At least it's got a little bit of energy without people looking bored. We're almost done, don't worry. Spa weekend! Sure looks like it. Here's four ladies in bathrobes having a spa weekend, I would assume. And they're reacting to something with more than mild concern, so that's nice. Got a little bit of energy there. Spa weekend, women in bathrobes. They look like they're at maybe a spa. And maybe the masseuse got trapped in a tanning bed a la Final Destination 3 and is currently on fire and screaming, and that's what they're reacting to. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe they opened up a tanning bed and there was a puddle of diarrhea, and that's what they're reacting to. I have no idea. Again, one of the better thumbnails we've seen. Chicago says Spa Weekend is the best thumbnail so far. It's definitely top 3. You know. All right, couple more. The magic faraway tree. I mean, is it one of the indistinct green blobs behind them? I guess we're staring mildly concerned into a barn. Is the magic faraway tree in the barn? Or is it one of the faraway trees behind them? Not a bad title, The Magic Faraway Tree. It's like, oh, what is magic? And the tree's far away. What is this about? But I mean, their poster is a family of 4 peeking into a barn, maybe? At something. Did they discover the Keebler Elves factory making all the cookies and stuff? Maybe that's what they're staring at. What is the main Keebler? Is it Larry the Keebler Elf? I think that character's got a name. Do they even do that advertising campaign anymore? Are the Keebler Elves still even a thing? They might have been gone for decades. I'm old. Avatar, The Last Airbender. I mean, this is almost the thumbnail I made for my Trails video, right? It's just the main cast, and they're in action poses. So we've got an IP, we've got a name that we recognize, we've got characters dressed up like in their, cosplaying as the characters from the show, the live action versions of the cartoon characters that we all know and love, except me, because I'm one of those people who just didn't like Avatar: The Last Airbender. And yes, I gave it more than 1 episode. I gave it like 5. But I mean, at least it's got your main cast. They're in costume. They're in action poses. That's something. So, not bad. Chicago suggests the barn is like the wardrobe and the Lion the Witch in the wardrobe. There's a field inside with a magical tree miles away inside the barn. Yeah. The barn's only yay big, but you look in it and it's got a tree a few miles away. How is it possible? Well, it's magic that tree's so far away. Makes sense to me. And here's a similar one, Street Fighter, a trailer I actually did watch some weeks ago. I think it had a different thumbnail. But I think the Avatar one's better because that's clearly Ryo. Is it Ryu or Ryo? I think it's Ryu. Chun-Li and Ken, maybe. Hard to tell. Maybe that's Ken. But, I mean, same idea. We've got, we've got 2 action poses, and then Chun-Li just looking less than pleased at something slightly off camera while standing somewhere indistinct. I mean, at least with Avatar, they're clearly standing in, like, some street in a town, kind of giving off very Western vibes where, I'm gonna, at noon, we're gonna square off in the middle of town by the saloon and stuff and shoot each other. Yeah, it's got that kind of a vibe to it. I have no idea where any of these characters are. There's a very big light behind who I'm assuming Ken is here, so maybe he's in like a wrestling ring. Ryo's wearing boxing gloves, so he's probably squaring off against someone, although I can't tell where he is. He could be in like an office kitchenette, for all I know. Don't know. So, I think Avatar takes this one, but hard to judge an arc-based show in 5 episodes. Oh yeah, I'm not judging the entire show. I'm just judging the show. I'm just judging the first 5 episodes, and I didn't like it. It just bored me. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like anything about it. I have a debut review. If you want my more fulsome opinions on it. Ryu is pronounced Rio. Okay. Disclosure Day! I think this is the best one. We've got a child's face. I mean, it's not the most interesting title in the world, but when you pair it with a young child being having her head held in place by the spindly fingers of what's probably an alien, and something weird and perhaps hot, perhaps malevolent, perhaps benevolent, we have no idea, is coming at her face. that's provocative. That's interesting. That's, oh shit, alien grabbing kid's face and gonna stuff it onto an alien stove or something like that. Not bad. Pretty good. All right. Well done, Disclosure Day. Oh, Ryu? Okay. Not Rio, Ryu. Jared says, I didn't like the characters, so I stopped watching. Well, yeah. That seems like a good reason to stop watching. That's one of the reasons I stopped watching Furian, the last journey, the longest journey. Man, that's a frustrating show. It took me 2 years to get through 10 episodes, and I'm pretty sure I'm just done with the show. To me, it's just terminally boring. I don't like any of the characters. They're so dull and uninteresting to me. Like, I can't stand the show. It bores. I love the concept of the show. I like the themes of the show. I just don't like anything that's happening in the show because it's dull as dishwater to me. Like, no one in the show seems to care about anything. No one in the show offers up any enthusiasm about anything. I mean, Frurian, whatever her name is, like, she's like, I collect magical grimoires and spells and stuff, but not because she seems particularly passionate about it, more just because she lives a long time and has nothing better to do. You know, her little purple-haired friend, or Charge, or whoever she is, whatever her name is, she's dull. The kid with the red hair is also really boring. Like, maybe it gets good after episode 10, but oh god, just not willing to stick with it. Just boring the hell out of me. Ah, we got one more. Let's see what it is. Oh, here's one from a year ago. So they've been doing this for a while. A different man. There's a different man. Unlike all the others, this man is looking mildly concerned, slightly off camera, while standing somewhere indistinct. I think that's Sebastian Shaw. So there we go. This, I wasn't attempting to cherry pick. Maybe that's just the YouTube algorithm. YouTube doesn't like me and it's serving up just the most boring damn thumbnails ever. You'd think it would try something new because I'm not clicking on any of these. You know? Jared says, I find it odd that you like Trails and not Furian. Well, because Trails is good. And Trails, in addition to having a, Trails and Furian, I think Furian has the more interesting broad concept and theme, but everything else is dull. I mean, the action scene in episodes like 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there, basically where I left off, were pretty well thought out. Like, it's like, oh, that's clever the way they, because the elf gal is facing off against some other gal who's like, haha, I'm 500 years old and I'm like super powerful. And Furian's like, oh yeah, that's nice. I'm like 1,000 years old. She's like, Nani? And then the purple-haired gal is facing off against someone else and doing magic-y stuff. And, like, the concept, like, the individual action beats are good. The whole, the threat and how the threat is tackled is clever, but the characters, for me anyway, are just so goddamn boring that I just don't care. Like, if every character in Trails acted like Eeyore from the 100 Acre Woods, it would be boring as hell. But, you've got a couple characters who are lacking in emotion, like Altina, or, let's say, Tio. You've got several characters who are very low energy type characters, but they're balanced out with characters who have high energy. But even the low energy characters have wants, needs, passions, thoughts, feelings. Like, the characters in Furian are just kind of blandly wandering along mainly because the plot says so. Like, I don't get the sense that they care about anything they're doing, or they care about each other, or they have any interest in what they're doing. It's, to me, it is so boring and frustrating because, again, I really like the concept and the themes they're playing with. It's similar to Chainsaw Man, another show that I actually watched the whole first season. I think I saw the whole first season. Unless they split the first season in half, I only watched the first. I think I watched like 12 episodes. I don't know if that's the entire season or the first half. So I watched Chainsaw Man, and I love the world, right? I love the concept of the world these characters exist in. I love the themes that they're playing with. I can't stand any of the characters. They all suck as people. They're not boring. That's a problem I have with Furion. But and I wish I knew how to pronounce that. They're not boring. I just don't like anyone in the show. Some of them are boring, but I just don't like it. There's like no character in the show that I can connect with because they're all just shitty people, and I don't like them. So, but I recognize that I am in the extreme minority on this one. Most people love Chainsaw Man and do not share those opinions. Most people love Furion the Longest Journey and don't share those opinions. That's, yeah, so definitely a me problem. Um, Jared says, see a correlation between you being single and not liking Furion. Well, I'm not immediately connecting those dots, but I'll give it a think, I guess. So, long story short, I like movies and TV shows sometimes, and I used to like, I'd watch any trailer, but man, of late, all of the trailers that are floating across my feed on YouTube are presented so uninterestingly that I just keep scrolling. I have no idea what the hell these movies are about because I'm not getting any information from the, well, Resident Evil I got, right? Um, because I'm getting little to no information about any of these, so I'm not clicking on them to find out more because there's no hook. It's like, well, how do you know if you don't click on it? Well, you got to hook me first. It's kind of like trailers for video games that we see in the various showcases. I think Sony's got, is it Sony or Microsoft? I think it's Sony who has one this coming week. Yeah, I think it's State of Play is on second or something like that. If you show me a trailer for a video game and I come away from the trailer asking, what's the game though? You failed. I'm not interested. Well, aren't you intrigued? No. Aren't you interested? No. Because you didn't tell me anything. You didn't hook me. You didn't even try. It's like, well, I can't even remember what game this is, but it was I can't remember if it was like one of the Dark Anthology ones or if it's a Kojima game or what it is, but it's a character who, it's a very close-up shot of a woman's face, and this is clearly a you know, actual act modeled on an actual actor's face and their performance, and they're acting their little ass off, looking really concerned and hyperventilating and crying and looking at candles or something. And then it goes dark and it shows the title, whatever the title is. It's like, oh my God, oh God, don't you want to play that game? No. What? What's the game? Well, isn't that an amazing render of that character was acting? Yeah. I don't know what she was acting about though. She was panicking and crying in front of some candles. I don't know why that's interesting. Now, it's cool that that works for other people, but it just doesn't work for me. You got to give me something. Jaws, swimming lady, shark with big teeth. Okay, that's something. I got it. I'll tune into the trailer now. That gives me something, right? But if it was just you've all seen, hopefully you've all seen Jaws, one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. The movie starts out uh, with a POV shot of ostensibly the shark just kind of swimming through the water. So you see a lot of dirt and fish and seaweed and stuff. Imagine if someone grabbed a still frame from the beginning POV shot of the movie and it was just a picture of like ocean floor, sand, and some seaweed and the logo Jaws. And that was it. Maybe you'd get 15 million views. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of these trailers have millions of views. So it's probably just me, but really my intention is just articulating why it doesn't work for me. Not necessarily that anyone else is wrong, the people who make these thumbnails or the people who, for reasons that escape me, are hooked by them. I certainly am not meaning to say that they're wrong. I'm merely, hopefully, regaling you with why it doesn't work for me. Jared says, we're not trying to make a joke about Fern being a good female and you not getting it and trying it. Trying to make a joke about Fern being a good female and you not getting it. To you, mostly not getting women, aka be. Oh, I just don't get women. That's why I'm saying. Oh, okay. Maybe. Although there's the red-haired kid. Like, I mean, he's got a drive. Like he's trying to live up to his axe wielding mentor, right? But I mean, like one of the first scenes with him is like he takes out that big dragon thing like all by himself. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he like chops through a mountain. I'm like, that. I mean, we're already scaled up. I mean, Yusuke Urameshi could do that, but it took him at least half the series. You know, he started out pretty small. It's like I don't know what even the threats are going to be here. These characters are like stupid powerful. I guess that's why they're so not fussed by anything, because they're just stupid powerful at this point in their careers. Although Furian's been doing it for 1,000 years. The purple haired girl is her charge is like, I don't know, 17 to 20, somewhere in there. You know, she's pretty young. The kid with the red hair, I think he's around her age too. So I don't know. I mean, it's very, very possible that if I watch the entire show, like of Furion or of Last Airbender or of any of the shows that I just bounced off of, had I seen the entire show, that might have recontextualized everything in an overtly positive way. And I would have said, you know, I wasn't with it for the first batch of episodes, but man, really got into it later. And that's totally possible. But, and when I was in my 20s, I might have stuck around with it longer. But as I proceed through my 40s, I find myself with less and less patience for a show to get good. Like, I used to give every show like 5 episodes at least. Like, I'll give you 5 episodes, like essentially the length of a movie. Because at that point, I think there was only, when I was in my 20s, I think there was only like, I think I made a video of this like when I was in my early 30s, how there were only like 3 movies I had ever stopped watching. I just flat out turned off. One was Anchorman, one was Babe, and I can't remember what the third one was. Nowadays, I will just stop a movie. If I'm half an hour into a movie and it's doing nothing for me, I'm like, yeah, life's too short. Not watching it. Same thing with shows. My debut review, the little tagline of it is, you know, I give every new show I watch only 1 episode to hook me. That was never meant to be a personal ethos. That was just the premise of that show. But it's fairly close to the truth. If I watch 1 episode of a show and it just does nothing for me, I'm not interested or hooked to see it. I oftentimes, unless I've heard something that I'm intrigued by, you know, external to the show, I will usually just drop it. Fallout is an example. That's a show that just There were things I liked about it, but overall it just did nothing for me. So I never watched episode 2, even though I've heard that the show is quite good and a lot of people really liked it. So, I could just be a curmudgeon. Yeah, humor is difficult to convey via typing. So, all right, that's it for tonight. Thanks for hanging with me. Join me tomorrow for a game I actually do like. We're gonna play some more Cold Steel 3 tomorrow. So, looking forward to that. Hope you are too. I'm gonna have dinner. I'm hungry. So, take care, everyone. Bye bye.